Some other headlines: P. Diddy Combs accused of involvement in shooting at recording studio. What? See, these. We'll just talk about some of these briefly. You know what I mean? Well,
There we go.
Look.
What am I to expect from P. Diddy?
Extremely humble, grateful, and blessed.
I don't know. He's a pretty good guy. Producer alleges a new complaint that Sean Diddy Combs was involved in shooting at recording studio. Wow. An amended complaint filed Monday adds new allegations to a lawsuit filed last week by producer Rodney Lil Rod. There's a lot of Lils in rap, isn't there? A lot of Lils. All right, folks, welcome to Which Way's Up. I am your host, Troy. This is my co-host, Ben McClintock from treeoflibertysociety.com. Here's what we got going on today. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Troy.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
So I guess I could say we are launching a new segment called Which Way's Up, and it's co-hosted by Ben McClintock and featuring a rotation of guest hosts once in a while. While Ben is the mainstay, we'll have other voices join us to enrich the conversation whenever he's not available. Now, although Which Way's Up currently has its own platform, and you can find the link in the video description, it will initially be nested within the Last Dispensation as a sub-program to foster growth. Plus, we've created a dedicated playlist for Which Way's Up so you can easily follow along with all the episodes. And of course, that's just a regular YouTube playlist. What would you say the program is about, Ben? Not to put you on the spot.
I would say this is about, current events and our take on them that you're not going to hear anywhere else. A lot of people might be talking about certain things, but I think there's some angles that we, because of our background that we come from, that we'll be able to bring a fresh new perspective on things that maybe you're seeing other places and maybe you're not seeing other places. We want to be able to be a fresh take on things that you're probably thinking about, but other people aren't thinking that in the same way you are. Hopefully, we can bring some new things to it.
Absolutely. One thing about our program, oh, by the way, it is called Which Way's Up, if you didn't already know, which you do. And we are here to bring you a breath of fresh air, which is long overdue for society, and not just in the United States of America, but our Western world in general. Because it's interesting, Ben, if you go to third world countries or even second world, is second world a real thing?
You're first world and third world.
Yeah.
The second world guys, man, they just get the short end of the stick.
Right. So Ben is the brains here more than I am.
Radical extremist, and you're just a clear thinker.
Yeah, he is an extremist, and I'm a conservative, which makes him way out of the park. So you guys will love him if that's who you are. He and I disagree on a lot of things, but but one thing we're not woke. We believe that woke is dying. We're here to not be extremely over here either. We're here to just we're here to present things and talk about it and go from there. Have you been keeping up on Trump and the ballot stuff? Yeah.
How much we just have to vote harder to make things right again? No, yeah, I have been following a little. I mean, just cursory. I haven't been digging deep into the inner workings, but yeah, I've been watching and what's going on with the different court battles and the different things that have been coming out with trying to keep him off the ballot and that kind of stuff. Sure.
Supreme Court rules Trump can remain on Colorado's ballot. So basically, what's going on is all these Democrat states are trying to get him off the ballot. And I'm talking to my wife today. I hear this on the news while I'm driving to the store. It's funny because You don't see old men getting newspapers anymore. Remember, you used to see that? What do these old people do without newspapers? Anyway, because they're not privy to the internet. That's sad.
They're just watching Fox News and CNN. That's
All right. Okay. Supreme Court rules Trump. Okay. So what's going? The justices unanimously rejected a challenge to Donald Trump's ineligibility. Okay. The justices unanimously rejected a challenge to Donald Trump's eligibility for another term, one that could have upended the presidential race by taking him off ballots around the nation. So I'm talking to my wife, and I guess she was listening to another pundit, and they're talking about there's a strategy behind this. They know they're not going to be able to do this. Okay. But if they can keep doing this, and then the Supreme Court has to go and say this isn't constitutional, because they're saying under the 14th Amendment, he incited an insurrection, which he didn't. He absolutely did not. There's no proof of that. Matter of fact, he was
certainly no conviction of that. That's for sure. So how can you disqualify someone based on? They're saying that he did something, but there's been no conviction of him doing
Why
that thing.
Why are conservatives
he
bad,
did that thing
Mommy?
or not? I would agree with you that there was no insurrection. But even if there was he convicted of it? The idea of being able to prevent somebody from being on the ballot because of something that they did, they have to be convicted of that thing. It has to be a crime.
Yeah, right. So do you think they're just trying to maim him? Like when it comes to the left or the swamp, that's kind of what they do. That's their game, maiming. It's not necessarily that they're going to meet this end that they claim that they want. Mm-hmm. Unless it happens, then that's just the icing on the cake. But they know it's unconstitutional. They know that he told everybody to stand down and not to do anything. But as far as that's concerned, each state has to appeal it for every individual state.
That does it. So there's a couple of things here that I think I'll probably be on a different side than your average Joe. Is the federal government, the Supreme Court has no authority in this case. It really is up to the state of Colorado to decide. Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution. The founding fathers did not want this general government to have all of this power, and especially over elections. And so each state is in charge of their own elections, how it's done, and all of those different ins and outs, and who's allowed on the ballot in that state and who's not allowed on the ballot in that state. What are the qualifications to be on the ballot? All of those things, with the minor exception of how to be president. You have to be 34 years old. Other than that, there's all the other qualifications, right, are outside of the ones delineated in the Constitution, are left up to the states individually. And so I believe that the Supreme Court ruling this way, even though I think the Colorado Supreme Court was wrong, I also believe that the Supreme Court violated the Constitution by coming in on this. And so, because the federal government has no authority over states' elections. And so it's, with that in mind, both of them are wrong. And so the Supreme Court of Colorado was wrong to say that Trump is disqualified because he was not convicted. It'd be like saying he's disqualified for murder. Well, where's the conviction of the murder? How do you say someone's guilty when there has been no presentation of evidence and a conviction of that crime? So I believe that both courts are wrong on this issue.
Well, absolutely. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this. We're getting into Christian nationalism. I was watching Glenn Beck the other night, and you and I have had private conversations about this. Yeah. What exactly is a Christian nationalist?
I don't think they know. I think it's just a term that nationalist has this mental picture of being a Nazi, being a National Socialist. And so they want to equate Christians that believe in the Constitution and the bill, what's it called? The Declaration of Independence, and the fact that our rights come from God and that government can't control you. They want to equate that with fascism. And so they throw these two terms together, Christian nationalist, to create a picture of individuals that believe that your rights come from God and not government as being fascists. The feds are wrong because they have no authority and jurisdiction. Colorado's wrong because he was never convicted. And so we have that aspect of it. But then to your point of, is this just the lefties trying to just make something stick? I believe, because if you look at the evidence, is
or are they trying to hobble them? Are they just that's been their whole thing anyway.
I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Can I tell you guys something? Ben doesn't think. Ben thinks that Trump is psyops, right?
Yeah. And so we have the media focusing on him. What happened after Colorado? And I think it was it New Hampshire or Maine? One of the northeastern states took him off the ballot. What happened? His poll numbers went up. His donations went up. His support for him went up, and people, and so I think that it's by design. We have, what do they do? What is P.T. Barnum said? I don't care what you say about me, just spell my name right. I believe he's got.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, just don't call me late for dinner.
Just don't call me. I don't care what you say about me, just spell my name right. And so I believe he's gotten just millions of dollars of free advertising, that when there are candidates, individuals that are in positions of authority or would like in the presidential election in 2008, what they did to Ron Paul was the exact opposite. They virtually ignored him, and with just a few glancing blows, and then they would move on. Whereas we see here in this example is an attack is just as much as effective in promoting someone as praise is. And so I believe that's exactly what's going on, is because Colorado was Trump ever going to win Colorado? Trump on the ballot in Colorado, not on the ballot in Colorado, is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, because he would not have gotten Colorado's electoral votes anyways. It'd be like California taking him off the ballot. So what? He will never get California's electoral votes. And so it's all about because we've been brainwashed into thinking the individual votes are what elect a president, and not understanding the Electoral College. We fail to realize political theater when it's right in front of our face, because it has zero impact on the election itself. They will not, keeping him off in Colorado and California, other states like that, will have zero impact on the general election in preventing him from becoming president. What it will do is it will gain sympathy in the areas that it might have been close, and it will turn the tide, in states maybe like Arizona where it's really tight, and move it more in Trump's direction. And so I think that's the mind game going on right now.
I think Trump is more benign than you presume he is, only because I've heard him off camera complain about certain things, and where he thinks that the mic's not hearing him, like about Nancy Pelosi and other people like that. But then you think, if there's a swamp creature that's above them, or a puppet master, we know that there's a puppet master when it comes to who's in office right now, right? Yeah. Obviously, it's not him running things. You don't got to really guess that. You just got to figure out who it is. We know he's not running things, but who is it? That's just, it could still be a conspiracy, right? Where Trump is working for the same, they're all on the same team. Because look at who owns cage fighting, or the UFC. Dana White. He's going to promote whoever wins, right?
Right.
And that goes back to Newt Gingrich in 2008, claiming that's why Fox started shutting Newt Gingrich up and hardly ever has him on anymore, because he was calling out old George Zorro. I
think that's false op too. Newt Gingrich is a CFR Bohemian Grove guy, but
what's false op?
A lot of that.
Gingrich?
Any kind of silencing of Gingrich, because Gingrich is he's a globalist as well.
You think he's kind of
100%.
rhino-ish,
Thinking.
right?
Absolutely.
But then but then where do we draw the line when we're saying who's psyops and who's not? Is everything just a conspiracy? I mean,
no, there's conspiracy theory.
You can get too caught up in conspiracy. I believe in true conspiracies, Ben.
I know you do.
Unlike you.
Oh, I stay away from conspiracy theory. I stick to conspiracy fact. If I can, you got to cross your T's and dot your I's. And we know what organizations are building global government. And, Newt Gingrich is right on board. What normal person goes to an event where it's men only and they're, they hire male prostitutes and they do a mock human sacrifice to an owl god.
Be careful. We're on YouTube.
I know, but who goes to those types of things? If somebody invited me that, I would tell them to go pound sand. That is, and so I document in my books, Invasions Volume 1 and 2, what it is that these guys are engaged in. What is it that they've said about themselves? What are their own admissions? What are the documents about their organization about the organizations that they're in? And, you know what it is that they stand for by the things that they are a part of. If you're a member of the Catholic Church, it's safe to assume that you believe in Jesus Christ. That's not a conspiracy theory to call you a Christian because you're a Catholic or a Baptist. Right. That's not a conspiracy theory. If you're a member of the CFR and you attend the Bohemian Grove, you are.
Be careful, Ben. You're going to get us thrown off right away.
No, I'm not. That's not something that they care about. There's tons of videos on those things. If I'm just saying those things, that is not something you're going to get in trouble for.
Okay.
But those, if you're a part of an organization that promotes those things, then it's safe to assume, just like if you're a member of a Christian church, that you're a Christian. If you're part of a globalist group, you are a globalist.
So do you think that they're going to start silencing? Let's be careful. All right. Don't just vomit things out. Like, okay. I don't know. The keywords change all the time with YouTube.
Sure, in 6 years, they could get mad at this video. Sure.
Well, here's the deal. With Christian nationalism, are we going to see a lot more of that pounding down on us?
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. Yeah. They want to get rid of the idea of it being legitimate to say that your rights come from God and not government. So anything that they can do to demonize that idea is definitely going to catch, is going to catch on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go to this real quick. Some other headlines. P. Diddy Combs accused of involvement in shooting at recording studio. What? See, these we'll just talk about some of these briefly. You know what I mean? Well, there we go. Look.
What am I to expect from P. Diddy?
Extremely humble, grateful, and blessed.
I don't know. He's a pretty good guy. Producer alleges a new complaint that John Diddy Combs was involved in shooting at recording studio. Wow. An amended complaint filed Monday adds new allegations to a lawsuit filed last week by producer Rodney Lil Rod. There's a lot of Lils in rap, isn't there? A lot of Lils. Jones, who alleges Combs SH'd, and threatened him. I know, you have to do the little acronyms.
But if it's on the mainstream news, can't you read what they're saying?
I'm telling you, brother, they don't care. They'll find any way to hack your... Really, it makes no... You're preaching to the choir, brother.
Paranoid.
No, I'm not. Brother,
saying I'm the conspiracy guy, and you're the one saying that you can't say sexually harassed.
Look, listen, you just said it. Look at even the true crime people. They have to go SA'd and just a.
Well, sure, that abused, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, alleges Combs sexually harassed and threatened him. Combs' lawyer has denied the initial allegations. So that's in the news.
Extremely humble, grateful, and blessed.
moving on. Moving on.
Wait. Let's go back. If we're gonna talk
right.
about it, should we talk about it?
All right.
There's some things in it. First of all, oh wow, I'm shocked. Right? The entertainment industry is filled with bad apples. News at 11. But Rodney, is that a girl's name? Or, I mean, that's a boy's name, right?
Rodney is a man.
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true.
So is this coming? Is this saying some things about P. Diddy that people didn't know about P. Diddy? That he's got some.
Well, let's see.
Outside of the ladies,
it's a lawsuit. So this could be either way. Did he really do something? Was this guy partying with him?
That's what I'm saying. If the allegations are true, is this saying that P. Diddy has interests outside of women?
Well, I mean, that's irrelevant. I mean,
I don't know.
But is doubling down on so Diddy's producer who's suing him is doubling down on allegations that Combs and his son were involved in a shooting that happened at an LA recording studio in 2022, as well as allegations of harassment. I think I would be more concerned with the shooting than the harassment. Combs was sued February 26th by Rodney Lil Rod Jones, Lil, a producer on his most recent album, who alleged Combs SH'd him, D'd him. No, I'm playing. Drugged him and THWEH. No, I'm playing. I'm playing with you.
We're just gonna spell every word we say. So that
everything's an acronym.
Censors.
Well, censorship is crazy. You might as well just not say anything.
Right.
And threatened him while he traveled and lived with Combs. Okay, so that's what's going on. Honestly, I don't know a lot about this case. I just kind of wanted to hit on this for a second. That's a lot of reading. That's a lot of reading.
Well, that's a lot of reading. We're not into reading. No,
we're not into.
It's not interesting. It's some rappers got into a shootout. Wow, that's shocking.
Extremely humble.
Okay.
Grateful and blessed.
Right. That's unprecedented.
Ooh, Chick-fil-A. Did you know that Chick-fil-A, this is mainstream news, other fast food restaurants, they have found in a mainstream study that they have what's that thing called? Like amoxicillin? What are those oh man, why isn't it not? What's amoxicillin? What kind of drug is that?
It's an antibiotic.
Antibiotics. So they got unapproved antibiotics in fast food. Okay.
Hold on, my cat. Hold on, my cat.
Okay.
Is wanting to come in.
It's a cat, of course.
My cat thinks she controls the narrative, and she does. Why do we let cats do that? That's a whole other show. All right. Okay, so amoxicillin, Chick-fil-A.
Well, not amoxicillin specifically, but unapproved antibiotics are found in many different brands of fast food that we all go to. And Chick-fil-A specifically not only has the antibiotics in them, but Chick-fil-A, they're closed on Sunday, so they've got your best interest out for you. They have birth control in their chicken. It was found. And so it's really interesting what's people talk about, fast food, of course, it's not healthy. Everybody knows that. You're like, okay, of course. But did you know that you had products, you had chemicals that were banned for human use in the fast food, and that the fast food itself is found to have chemicals to depopulation agenda of birth control. Pretty crazy.
That is
we're
crazy.
seeing in the last several years, huge increase in stillbirths. And so I wonder if people have accused other things of being a part of it, which I don't deny, but maybe your fast food is having a part of it as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, they're also saying to throw out some dipping sauces.
Dipping sauces.
Dipping sauces.
What's in the dipping sauce? What are they saying is in the dipping
sauce?
I
don't know. Let's find out. But I don't know if that's coinkydink that they're trying to control birth. But Chick-fil-A is supposed to be like this Christian company, which they kind of went woke on some things, right? Recently.
Sure did.
But so is Hobby Lobby. You know what Hobby Lobby is, right?
And my wife loves the Hobby Lobby.
I worked at Hobby Lobby for 3 days. All right. I'm not going to. Yeah. Chick-fil-A tells customers to throw out a popular dipping sauce.
How come?
The
They're Polynesian.
It's a Polynesian sauce. If you have it lying around your home or vehicle, yeah.
I'm just going to dip right into it.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to dip right into a Polynesian dipping sauce that's been sitting in my...
Oh, it's got wheat or soy allergens. That's nothing compared to your antibiotics. Come on.
Well, sitting in the back of the... What is that called? In the sun, under the window, in the back. What's that called?
Oh,
Come on, Ben.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
The dash.
Dash. Sitting in the back dash. I'm not going to dip into it anyway. Who would?
Yeah, it's not good. But if it's in your cup holder, it's been in the cool weather.
Take those French fries, those McDonald's fries that were sitting under your passenger seat for a year.
Oh my gosh, so gross.
They're perfect. Okay, so what's going on with this?
So allergens are the least of your problems with the Chick-fil-A's. I'd be worried about what you're eating, not what you're dipping your sauce in. If you've got a food allergen, maybe you shouldn't be going to fast food anyways. You got to be more careful if you're allergic to peanuts, because like certain food allergies, they do the cross pollination, pollination, and you got to be careful anyways. But
right, yeah. So okay, so that's what's going on with Chick-fil-A. That's it.
That's it with the sauces. That's the big controversy. That forget about the fact that they got birth control in it. It's got some allergens.
We're more concerned with your wheat allergies. Anyway, I leave all the links to these, so if you guys want to look at them, right, Ben? We leave the links.
Of course.
We expound on things that are more important than others. But hold on. I like this. I'm already kind of filling it out to see how it's going to, we're going to cover maybe not all the headlines all the time, but
all of them, every single one, especially wheat allergens.
Yeah. Did I stop sharing that?
Yeah, you did. Big news at Northrop Elementary School. Child gets peanuts in his peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay. Here we go.
Now I'm looking at Pop-Tarts asking the Taylor Swift to release a Chiefs treat recipe.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. Pop-Tarts and Taylor Swift's recipe request. Apparently, Pop-Tarts has reached out to Taylor Swift, asking her to release the recipe for homemade pastries she made, asking her to release the recipe for homemade pastries she made for the Kansas City Chiefs following their Super Bowl win. Amazing, because she's not only Taylor Swift, Ben, but she is a baking genius. She's a genius in the kitchen. Taylor Swift was just created by God to be the most amazing human being on the earth. When it comes
I want to know what the Kansas City Chiefs taste like. That's my question.
Well, the brand is offered to double its donation to a local food bank if Taylor
double from zero.
Yeah. If Taylor Swift shares the recipe.
Whoa.
The brand is offered to double its donation. We already got that. Swift's involvement with the Chiefs came through her relationship, which I think is fake. I think it's fake with Travis Kelce.
Well, I'll tell you what I think is fake is this article, because it's an advertisement for both Taylor Swift, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Pop-Tarts. It's not a news story. That's ridiculous.
No, they're giving us, yeah. Well, and her presence has been noted as a positive influence.
I'm sure glad we're giving Pop-Tarts, Taylor Swift, and the Kansas City Chiefs free advertising.
Yeah. So there's not much to say about that. Do you keep up on Taylor Swift?
Just what's shoved down my face as I...
Do you allow your kids to listen to pop music?
Heavens, no.
What do they get to listen to? I'm just curious.
Nothing but Mormon Tabernacle choirs allowed in this house.
You're not supposed to say that.
I'm
I'm joking.
gospel music, nothing but gospel music.
You know what? Ben McClintock, you're going to find out you might relate to him more than me. He's more extreme than me. I think you guys are picking up on that. But I still believe in conspiracies. But he believes that everything. You don't believe in lizard people, right?
I don't believe in lizard people and certain shaped earths.
Like, what's his name?
Other nonsense. David Icke.
David Icke.
Oh my gosh.
That's psyops right there, brother.
Absolutely.
He's there to make
fact, not conspiracy theory.
Yeah, he's there to make us look like idiots.
I'm teasing. I mean, my kids don't listen to much modern stuff. It's mostly, I try to keep them to stuff that's, something that's going to be good for their minds and their bodies and their spirits.
All right.
The stupid mic. Have you seen the ad? There's the poster for the Taylor Swift movie that they put in theaters a few months ago. It looks like whoever took that picture, I think she needs a new marketing guy, because it looks like, I don't know if you want to put it up for the audience to see, but it looks like she's farting into the microphone.
Hold on. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. Somebody really needs to change that. It looks like she's going to fart in the microphone.
It doesn't.
Taylor Swift.
You will not be able to see it in any other way now than Taylor Swift farting into a microphone.
Has not anyone brought that up in meetings, like with her publicists or anything like? Shouldn't this be brought to somebody's attention? Maybe we need to.
It's too late now.
It really is. They probably somebody prematurely released this, I bet, before it was. Oh wow, that is
not even
crazy.
Anymore. So it doesn't even matter. It's overdone. But yeah, when it was big and going through and everything, and that picture was everywhere.
Not good, mate. Not good. Yeah. Okay. So I know we talked about Trump here for a second, but recent polls suggest a challenging look for President Joe Biden with issues such as immigration. Gee, that's not a shocker, is it? The economy being top concerns for voters. The polls indicate that voters believe former President Trump would be more effective in handling immigration issues. Additionally, despite some positive economic indicators, the perception of the economy remains poor among many voters. Biden's age and mental acuity are also points of concerns for some respondents.
But his doctor said everything's fine. Why would it be a concern? He's just a bunch of right-wing conspiracy theorists thinking that he's not mentally all there just because he can't walk upstairs and finish a sentence.
Well, if anybody can pick themselves back up off the stairs, I think they're in good shape. They're in really good shape. Right?
Obviously. Tip-top mental, physical shape. There's nothing wrong. Nothing to see here, guys.
Yeah. So
what are the four? We got the physical, mental capacity. Everybody's how is that even a question? That's like the idea that like his mental capacity isn't all there. That's not extreme. That's not like out of the blue. That's just something with somebody with the ability to observe other people's behavior. That's not even that shouldn't even be a question.
Well, it's just funny because Politico, you're seeing more articles where, okay, remember when Donald Trump was president, where everything, this guy could do no right? Everything that anyone had. If there were you didn't see articles like this. They're actually treating him like he's a worthy opponent, which they didn't before. It was like he's evil. He's clearly evil. But we're seeing that they can't hide it anymore. It's clear. The Democrats, it's just funny. Now, as you say, is this a ploy anyway? Is Trump, it would be funny to see if Trump and Biden were friends. But, if it is right-left
friends, they're on the same team. They have the same goal. You can have people on the same team that don't like each other personally, right? And so that's, their personal likes for each other is to me irrelevant as to this fact. So mark it down on your journals. This is the 4th of March, 2024. The media is setting up Trump to win. I predict right now, Trump wins the election.
You really think
Is
so?
that because I want him to? I've got no dog in this hunt.
Yeah, but you're not realistic, Ben. You have no dog in any hunt.
That was legit.
You don't believe you.
Okay. My dog is in the hunt for truth.
Yeah, but you think all the raccoons are wearing masks. You think all the raccoons are cats disguised as raccoons. Bunch of cats wearing raccoon masks, right? In your hunt.
Nah.
All right. Pentagon leakers accepts. Do you like how we just hit on stuff and then if it's really important to us, we talk about it more?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm almost done with we got Pentagon leakers accept prison sentence and then Israel-Hamas conflict updates, and that's it. But a lot of this stuff you're not, and it'd be cool is to have Joel Skousen on, if he would. I don't know if he will, once a month. If this gets big, I'm not giving up the other program, but what I'm saying is I'm going to be doing less. I'm going to be focusing more on this one and doing less over there. Does that make sense?
I get you.
Let's just see what happens.
Okay.
This might be like, but it takes time. It's going to take time. You don't just get people
Which is why
coming.
I'm surprised because you've already kind of built this baby that's kind of bringing in some, some bread and butter, and just kind of.
But it's really no. I'm not giving up on that. But what I'm saying is, if we can get all those videos, Tim's videos, over to this platform, that would help us.
The subscribers would matter because.
No, people like Tim Ballard, they were on his Instagram. They come over. A lot of people just subscribe, and then they go, "Oh, this is theology."
I wish I had my monitor right underneath my computer. I mean, right underneath my camera.
What's that?
I just wish my monitor was right underneath my camera. It's off to the side, my left. And so when I look at it, you can see that I'm not looking at the camera anymore.
Just do it!
Hello there.
Where did I go? What did you change, bro?
I didn't change anything.
All right. Good. Keep talking to me like that. Keep me in check, bro, please. Please. You're my friend. I consider you a friend now.
That's right. That's why we can do that.
Really, I want to come and visit sometime. Me and my wife will come.
Come on out.
Don't worry, we'll stay in a hotel.
I love ya, but I ain't staying
Would
here.
you go to which way
unless
would you go?
had-
Because you're kind of in the middle. Would you go to LA and Vegas, or would you go to Sacramento and Tahoe?
We usually go, the way you go to Utah from here is you go through Nevada.
Okay, so you have to go to Nevada either way.
We go to Mojave. We go through Mojave.
Go south. Okay.
Yeah, and Area 51.
Go through Vegas, right?
Go right by Area 51.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to
St. George.
We go through Palmdale and Lancaster, like that area.
You go through you come from the south. You come from St. George.
We go to Bakersfield and then we go to the 58 East. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from here I go south, Bakersfield, then cut over, go through the high desert, through Nevada and that way. St. George.
Yeah, St. George.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a drive.
About 12 hours.
You coming next month for conference?
Probably no. We don't have the money, bro. We're poor. We are very poor.
I hear you.
Very, very poor. I don't get paid much from YouTube, which is weird. I don't know. Let's just go. But I'll tell you what.
Looks like you're getting paid more than those other guys from that algorithm thing. The link I sent you, I put those other channels in there. Looked like they were getting paid like $300 a month.
Ooh.
And then all the other channels into that website with the links, with the shows the stats and how much money they make and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, they only average about $300 a month?
According to that website. I mean, I've got no access to it, but if that website's to be trusted, it's about $300 to $500 a month.
Well, I also have Yeah, I think my RPMs are higher than theirs.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see the Pentagon leakers
Nope. You're not sharing anything.
right there? What do you
gotta share
mean?
your screen.
I am sharing the screen.
Are you?
No.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
There we
For
go.
real.
Pentagon agrees to accept 16-year.
So who is this? A former Massachusetts Air National Guardsman, Jack Teixeira, Teixeira. Teixeira has agreed to a 16-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to willful retention and transmission of national defense information. Let me guess. He's probably a right-winger. No?
Or I don't know. You got to scroll down. I don't know anything about the guy.
Well,
Maybe he's
I'm
a
just
lefty
reading.
selling stuff to the Chinese.
So he's accused of leaking classified documents online.
Yeah.
Things like military equipment that we have provided to good old Ukraine. And then he has taken a plea deal. He is, as part of his plea agreement, he must debrief with the Defense Department and return any sensitive materials.
So what does that mean online? Like he emailed him to a Chi-Com, or did he?
I don't know.
Like just post it onto 4chan? Like what does that mean?
I don't know,
What
but
did he
that's
do?
him when he was little. When he was little. That's him when he was a baby. Is he that? He's just how old is he?
He's like probably 22. It looks like.
Poor guy. Didn't I just say how old he was?
Yeah, it's up there.
I'm an idiot. Why am I an idiot? All right.
What could be the longest sentence in an unlawful retention case? So he just had information. Scroll up. I can't see. No. I mean down. Sorry. He accessed and printed hundreds of classified documents and posted images of them on Discord. So it wasn't like he was even like providing it to like a foreign government and getting money out of it.
But who was he providing it to again?
Just Discord. So he's just like basically like putting it on like a
Hey
social
guys,
media
look at this classified information I'm not supposed to talk about.
app. Right.
That was dumb. He's just a 22-year-old that wanted to be relevant. Is this
Felt
him?
that he was exposing things. No, that's not him.
It says Jack Michael Teixeira. Father. He's the father.
Okay.
Poor guy.
That's the senior.
I have a 24-year-old. I have a 24-year-old son. That would be horrible. And he was in the Marines. If he did that, I'd be like, boy, what were you thinking? The hell?
Maybe, I mean, I like to. Does he talk
What
about
the hell were you thinking,
Was
boy?
he just doing like he's like feeling like he's like a Snowden, like he's trying to release information to blow the is he a whistleblower, or is he
I
just
don't
some
know.
punk kid that thought it was funny to put stuff on the internet? That's
Well, let's read. It says, why don't you read it? Go ahead and read.
the plea agreement filed with the court. This 22-year-old, hey, I was right, agreed to plead guilty to all 6 counts, charging him with willful retention and transmission of national defense information. In exchange, prosecutors agreed not to charge him with additional counts under the Espionage Act. So like treason or something like that, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And so he accessed, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but he accessed and printed hundreds of classified documents and posted images of them on Discord prior to his arrest last April. A prosecutor said Monday during a hearing in Boston federal court where the Air National Guardsman pleaded guilty. I would say it's pled guilty, but maybe my English is off. But he entered a count in handcuffs and in an orange jumpsuit with the initials PCCF on who cares? And appeared to smile at his father, who was seated in the second row.
Do you think this was agenda driven, politically motivated?
Just based on it's hard to tell. It's just the data that's here.
Or was this just recklessness? A 22-year-old like wrecking his dad's car, driving too fast.
Right.
Or just, why are people going to trust? First of all, I don't think 22-year-olds should be trusted with classified information.
Gotta have maybe several years of proven trust.
Yeah. It's like you have 18-year-olds that join the military and all of a sudden they're given classified information. It's like, hey, check this out. Don't talk about it with your friends, even though you tell your friends everything else. Hey, braggers. Hey, 18-year-old braggart. Don't talk about this with your friends. This could jeopardize our freedom. Not like we have freedom anymore. But anyway,
I'm just going to look up another article about it just to kind of see if there's anything else with more detail of like why, like what was his
where did you
motive,
read up to?
Just whatever you're showing on the screen right there.
Yeah, I know. When did you stop?
Right above the picture.
Second row. Okay. He stood with defense attorney.
Go ahead.
He stood with defense attorney Michael Bachrach before Judge Indira Talawani identified himself and answered basic questions. His close-cropped dark hair was neatly combed on top and shaved on the bottom half of his head. Okay, well, why did they need to talk about that?
That's just top-notch journalism right there, I tell you.
So, I don't know. That's sad. That's sad for a dad and a mom. 16 years? Talwani asked Tixira whether I don't know if I'm pronouncing this. I'm butchering the heck out of his name. Whether he understood he was agreeing to serve as much as 16 years in prison and no fewer than 11 years. Why are they doing that to this kid? Well,
lesson.
What, 70 years ago, he would have been shot. Would you say?
What's a tough?
70 years ago, he would have been
what
shot.
He did. I mean, did he? Because it's kind of technology's different. Was he just back in the day, right? This 70 years ago, is he just making copies and passing them around town, or is he making copies and selling them to? That's
a much more concerted effort, though, right? To go out and pass things out around town. But let's say he... yeah,
but one is treason. You're trying to help and evade the enemy. The other one is just like...
Yeah, why are we just throwing the book at this guy?
Does he think of himself as a whistleblower? I think that's a key thing. A difference is if he thinks of himself as a whistleblower and he's trying to expose some things, or is he trying to aid and abet the enemy? Or like you said, is he making himself look important? I'm a big shot. I'm 22 and I got access to top secret material. Look at this. I
think he's doing like a lot of people now that join the military that are kind of woke. They feel, I'm not saying that he's wrong either, because there's a lot of convoluted thoughts when it comes to who is right and who is wrong. You have people, put it this way, brother, would you agree with me that you've got these woke kids, right, that believe that like Christian nationalism is evil, conservatism is bad, capitalism is evil, and Trump is evil and all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But because they're against, in a sense, they're against robber baronism, they're against crony capitalism. But that's what they don't understand. They're confusing. So what I'm saying is they're right in their thinking, but they need to be direct. What's sad is they don't understand really where it's coming from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What am I trying to say, Ben? You know.
You stupid.
You know.
Sounds like you're trying to say, people get, they get mixed up with those because of their immaturity.
Well, and what do they get mixed up with? What I'm saying is, yes, those who believe in conspiracy, those who know conspiracy, understand that it's crony capitalism we don't like. It's not capitalism.
Oh, you mean why people get caught up in that stuff? Yeah.
And so the kids are right about not liking totalitarianism,
right? But
they're getting it wrong where it's coming. The real tyrants are doing the old adage, the old story, the witch whispering in, the ear and pointing to this other person saying they're the bad guy.
Right.
When they are the bad guy.
It's
That's
like
what
the
I'm
meme
saying.
of the communists, right, blaming, hey, it's these big corporations causing these problems, and then you have the conservative saying, oh, it's big government causing all these problems, and then you got the other guy be like, yeah, they're working together to cause the problems. It's
Right.
and so they're not seeing the big picture. If you're not seeing the big picture of how these people are working together, then you're going to be caught up in the wrong side of things. But from
Absolutely.
my 30 seconds of research on the Googles, it looks like that it was just a 22-year-old kid trying to show off. He wasn't actually, there was no ideology behind what he was doing, according to the Googles.
Do you think that sentence is too harsh?
Fatality.
Yeah, especially with zero intention behind it, unless, and that's what I would say. Like, if you're going to have a big sentence, you're going to ask for a big sentence, you'd have to have intent behind it. If you're just an idiot doing stupid stuff, 16 years seems a bit much. I mean, so he's 22, he comes out in 16 years, he's 38 years old. What's he going to be able to do, to be able to support himself and his family when he gets out? To me, that's, to me, there should be, a good slap on the wrist, maybe, a couple of years, maybe, just to let him know what's up. But to put him out of prison before, right before he turns 40, that you just ruined the guy's life because he's an idiot.
Right.
Not because
I agree.
If he was doing it to sell secrets to some foreign country, throw the book at him, sure. But being stupid, I think, just you got to maybe a couple years max.
Well, I mean, they say he was smiling at his dad. Is he smiling because he feels like he is doing something noble?
Right.
Does he feel like I'm saying, but you never know where they're coming from. I'd like to know more about his political views.
Motives, yeah.
But
the fact the government
right?
in the sentencing didn't make the motive an issue, I would say that, either the motive is top secret, they don't want it out there, or there was no motive and he was just a punk kid.
Right.
To the floor, to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make a child.